think Jay saw me and decided that she wanted me to play the role in the film.
And I think before that, it was Woody King Jr., right? That kind of got the play started, in a sense, and also brought you into the project, into the play, at least.
Yes, he did. Actually, everything started with, I don't know if anyone remembers a woman by the name of Flo Kennedy. Do you remember Flo Kennedy with a cowboy hat? And she was an activist, very political and conscious, aware, and she had originally told me that I should, I was at Antioch College, and that I should audition for for Black Girl, the play. And on a work study, I did exactly what she suggested, and that's where Woody King saw me.
Do you want to, Jay, just talk a little bit about creating these characters and yeah.
Well, as far as the characters are concerned, they are based on personal experience that I had. Not all of the characters. I
Put your mic up here.
No, you just gotta hold it up to your mouth. You'll be okay.
Okay. The story is based on a personal experience that I had. And then in 1968, after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, a talent scout from WGBH in Boston came to the Harlem Writers Guild looking for 20 playwrights. Now, he didn't find 20, but he found 4 or 5. And the plays were going to be a part of a project that WGBH was launching in conjunction with Brown University. There were 2 professors at Brown, Professor Red Jones and Professor George Bass, and they were the consultants on the project. And I was asked to write a treatment, which is a short outline of the dialogue and who the characters are and how the story would progress. And based upon 5 pages, I was asked to go ahead and develop the work. It was produced on National Educational Television the following year in 1969. At the time, I was a professor at Lehman College in the Bronx. And when the work aired, now unfortunately, the master copy of all of the works that were done at that time were destroyed in a fire. So I have no copy at all of that particular version of Black Girl. But Hollywood came calling after someone saw the play, the stage version of Black Girl. It played at the Theatre de Lys, later named the Lucille Lortel Theater, played for over 800 performances. And I wrote the screenplay with Ossie Davis as the director. You just saw it. And that was it. I went to Hollywood.
Can you talk a little bit about the experience of making the movie? It's I believe, your only film. Is it your only film role? Yeah, that's what I thought. But yeah, I would love to hear you talk about that experience.
Well, so much of the play itself and the material, the whole situation was very much in line with my own experience, coming from a family that was impoverished and also having a lot of, I guess you say, chutzpah, whatever, going to college. It's so layered for me. And I think when I auditioned for the piece and the lines that I was given to say, they weren't far from my heart because this is how I was raised. So for me to use words like "my dear" or all those subtleties, it wasn't so far. It wasn't such a far reach. It's as if I had to dig deeper within. And I think when I met J.E., she was, it was not about something commercial or let's get or gain something from this. It was really about trying to understand what it means to be closer to one's humanity and closer to one's real movement towards becoming. And that she was always like that. So conversations with her were very grounding and made it an easy transition from stage to film, easier for me. But I was very surprised. You know, now we have a Me Too movement, but these traits of Hollywood have always been there. And at that time, for a young black girl without financial support or connections in Hollywood, and writers like J.E. Franklin were not, that was scarce, or if not impossible. So it was much more than a film. It was a pivotal moment in my life.
And I'd actually love to spend a little time, if you could share with people where you went after the film, because it's not a traditional path, perhaps. But I think it really, especially when I see you dance in the movie, if you could, just maybe talk a little bit about where you went afterwards.
Well, there was a moment when I was in Hollywood, when I had a moment where I really thought, do I try to stay out here and, quote, make it in Hollywood? Or can I go back to college? Because I was in college on a work study, Antioch College. Can I actually go back and learn more about creation, creating work that was closer to me, for people who would understand what I had to say? So I did go back, and I ended up being very interested in the fringe theater or experimental theater. So I spent a couple of years in London, England, and there's no place like London, the east side of London, about working with community, working with people who, no one has a corner on entertainment, working with people who have something within that needs to be expressed. And it's so rich. I saw the richness of people and community. So I've always been interested in community and theater and experimental theater.
And you've helped, I think, a lot of people figure out how to tell their own stories.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I know I have many questions I could ask, but I know that we have a wonderful audience here too, and I know we started a little late, so I do want to make sure that we have time if anyone out there has a question for either of our two wonderful guests. I just want to make sure that we leave time for this community to have a question, and if not, I'll continue to ask them.
I see someone with a hand up.
We'll go. You'll be number 2. You guys got him next, right? Okay, good.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to the panelists. My name is Zuri. I am an actor and a very recent grad of Spelman College. And a question that I had for you all was, when I was watching this film, when it was kind of hard, because I know that some members of my family definitely had a lot of experiences, as the 3 sisters mainly did, and some of my aunts were Netta in their own families. And I want to know that when performing those scenes, did you all find that you were more so leaning on each other for support in order to not maybe what you feel as go too far in terms of maybe, is this too angry? Is this too much for the camera? Or were you all more so able to find that sanctuary in each other where you never had to worry about things like that?
Well, I think you're speaking a little bit about trust. And the trust was always there between the women that you see. They were so skilled and gifted performers. The writer, J. Franklin, had, we were entrusted to carry the message of the material because it was familiar to all of us. So there was never a question about going too far, except maybe just to open more and feel more and try to be with each other. But there was never any difficulty with finding or being afraid of going too far with the material. The material was very honest. Something about it is just the way it is. For those of us who know, we know that this material it's real.
Thank you. And then we have the gentleman right there. We could go to him.
Good afternoon. I'm just so glad to be here. And I met Dr. Franklin a couple of months ago. And the only question I want to ask is, are you going to continue to write? Because I think that was brilliant piece of work. Really.
Well, this is the.
Hold it up.
We just want to record you. That's all. So
He wants to record me. All right. Black Girl is my only full-length screenplay, but I have a short screenplay that was directed. Actually, the director is here in the audience, Malika Nzinga. I think she might. Here she is out here. She's my daughter, and she wanted to direct one of my 10-minute plays for the screen. I have a body of 10-minute plays. I have a body of 1-act plays. I have a body of 3-minute plays, and so my other screenplay that's why they call us colored. Bless their hearts. And it's a 2-character play with some veteran actors who are no longer with us. And I'd like to honor those 2 actors with a showing somewhere. So if you know of anyone who likes to show short films that are no longer than, they play about 15 to 20 minutes long, let me know, or let my daughter know. And what I'm interested in now is seeing children perform the curriculum. So I'm working on some material for children in the lower grades and the middle grades, because that seems to be that part of the learning experience that teachers seem to find difficult to handle. But we've done some field testing with the 3-minute plays, and they do engage children. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm working on a whole body of material that can be used in the schools or in detention centers or churches. I know the language in this is a little strong, so they ain't going in the church. But I do have some material that churches have already reached out to me for. That's where I'm going.
Speaking of performing, could we talk a little bit about the dancing? Because you're the choreographer on the film.
Right. Well, I think each one of us has had a moment of where something lines up or there's a kind of synchronicity. But there was, when I came to New York, I wanted to continue to exercise. And for some reason, I took a ballet class, a few hours a week. And I found it so freeing. And I didn't know, in a way, that I was preparing to play this part. Some of the gestures and movements were what I actually picked up in that little class, that little workshop, whatever it was, at the bar. and it was just, they called me the choreographer because I was really moving from my heart. So I wasn't, it's just I felt this, the rigidity going against the strictness and rigidity that she was living, the confinement, any gesture that would take me out of that and open me up. And so I guess if you want to call that original choreography, you could call it that. But I think we all do that at moments, just trying to get free of the restrictions and confines of where we find ourselves. Experimental, yeah.
Yeah, can you just wait for the microphone? Because we want to make sure we get your voice in the conversation. Thank you.
Hi, my question is, how do we get a film like this out to the public more? Because this is a hidden gem that none of us had any awareness of. And it really resonates, and I think it has a very powerful message that people, they're going to identify with. And it should not be contained to just this small, maybe one flash, moment.
Well, believe it or not, it's been playing on Turner Classic Movies for the past 10 years, at least, maybe even longer.
That's great to know, because also you started with the thing about what you read about Ossie Davis and the commercialization, because this is not about money.
No, sure ain't, because they haven't paid me anything.
But you should be. But even aside from that, we need to get this out. People need to hear this and see this and experience.
One thing I will say is, so this film, I mean, Jay, you did, and Malika, I know you were very involved, but the film was restored. So that means that they went in, and there's a digital copy as well that's now can easily travel the country and easily air on television. So we'll just have to find some more theaters and find some more places for it. But that's a huge first step in what you describe, is that work of taking the materials and bringing them back to their former glory so that people can see it and hear it the way that it was meant to be seen and heard.
Also, the material is relevant to today. I mean, in fact, it speaks to today very much so in communities. If you travel across America and you see the conditions in which people live, especially people of color, the inner city, this is a theme, and it's relevant now. So.
And you can also just tell people, so if it plays again, make sure we all tell people so that they'll know and that they'll come. Because I think word of mouth is still such an important way. Talking to your friends, talking to people, telling them the experience you had here, that those things make a big difference.
Well, the version I saw on Turner Classic Movies is a cut version. And even before the film was released, a lot of the material ended up on the cutting floor. We have a saying in theater that in the theater, the playwright has the last word, but in film, the director has the last word. And so I don't know what ended up on the cutting floor because I didn't stay in Hollywood that long. After Black Girl, I, counted my blessings and got on out.
Well, she got out, but we've been friends all those years because she's the one person that really cared about what happened to that young girl who played Billie Jean. And we have been friends consistently for all that time.
I see hands, and I have to apologize because we're out of time. We have many movies we're playing, but can we thank both of them for giving us this beautiful movie and for all the work that they've done in the years since.